If you're an accounting, bookkeeping, or tax professional and you're struggling to convert new clients at a higher price, then this video is for you. And in this video, I want to share with you 3 strategies you can leverage so you can price with confidence and you can communicate your value effectively. Hi, I'm Carlos Garcia, founder of Exceed Sales, and I'm a sales coach for tax and accounting professionals. If you think about how do you communicate your price with confidence, it all starts with mindset. If you don't believe your worth and your value, chances are you're not going to effectively communicate it. Typically, our mindset is this lens in which we look at our own self-worth, the worth of our work, and we're not really seeing how this work impacts the business owners that you're trying to help. So the first step is for you to challenge your existing belief system. Some of the reasons that I have ran into working with existing accounting professionals is the fear of rejection. So let's kind of break that down. So step 1 is identifying this limiting belief. Now we know that the limiting belief is if I communicate my price higher, I'm fearful that they are going to reject me. The next thing is you want to recognize that this is just a belief. The third is you want to try to challenge it. So you can do a couple things. First is ask yourself, do all the facts support this belief? So a good question you can ask is this 100% true? Have I even tried it? Out of 10 times that I communicate my price that I want to communicate it at, do I get rejected 100% of the time? The other thing you want to tell yourself is if the client doesn't see the value in your services, then maybe that's not the client for you. You want to be okay with being picky because you want to work with clients that want to work with you. You want to work with clients that see the value of your work and the impact it creates in their business, in their life, and in the relationship that you're going to build together. The next thing is for you to ask yourself, well, what could be the potential damaging consequences if I change nothing? And that is, if you don't change your price, if you don't communicate it higher, then you're going to continue to accept work at a lower price than what it's really worth. And you're going to be overwhelmed and you're not going to be happy. You might even financially struggle in doing this. So once you kind of lay out these benefits and these risks, it helps you create motivation towards taking confident action or trying something new. Now, it requires to have a lot of courage for you to be able to approach new, different, and uncomfortable things. Adam Grant says that the act of doing the uncomfortable thing is what builds your comfort in the skill you're trying to develop. So you have to push yourself to do some of these uncomfortable things so that you can build your confidence in communicating your price. The fifth thing is for you to try to adopt a new belief. Well, what good can come from this? If I raised my prices for all my customers, yeah, maybe less customers, but if they're paying you more, in essence, you could either net out the same amount of revenue you're making working with less customers so that you're less overwhelmed, or you might have the opportunity to tap into a new market of customers, again, that value your worth. The last thing is for you to practice. Try practicing communicating your price with new customers with confidence and see what kind of outcomes you get. This is the part of shifting your mindset so that you can step into a higher level of confidence when communicating your price. The second strategy is for you to move into value-based conversations. A value-based conversation is going into a client conversation, assessing all of their needs, identifying the key pain points in which they feel like they need urgent help from you. You're exposing the value of your solution so that they can already see value as a greater thing compared to the price you're going to communicate. Now you do this by asking thoughtful, curious questions in the conversation. And the biggest thing is to shift your mindset from inputs, how many hours is it going to take, right? And more on outcomes. What impact will my solution have for my customer? What results can I create for my customer? So if you think more around impact and results focus, then you shift away from this whole hourly billing or how many hours is it going to take me, and you're focusing on the value that you're creating for your customer. One thing that I like to also coach my clients on is to find the number. If you can ask enough questions to quantify their level of pain or the consequence of not taking action, then you can attach a fraction of that as the solution that you create. For example, If you know that if you do a bookkeeping cleanup for someone, and as a result, you just avoided them potential damaging financial consequences of $80,000, then whatever you charge for that cleanup ends up being way less than that potential financial consequence, right? So if you quote a bookkeeping cleanup for $20,000, you're still giving them a heck of a deal because you've identified through asking really good questions that the consequence of them not doing this cleanup could be $80,000 of fines, penalties, etc. In doing that, you can price your work with confidence. So we talked about value-based conversations. Now I want us to shift towards value-based communication. When you're ready to present your price, you want to make sure that you're using all of the evidence and all of the facts that you've collected in the conversations. You can say things like, because of the fact that you said A, B, and C, then I'm going to recommend that we do X, Y, and Z. So when you are crafting your price, your product, or your solution, you want to make sure you're tailoring it to all of the needs that you uncovered based on what the customer needs. In some cases, you might even want to use 3 options so that the customer doesn't feel like you're giving them just one price and you're kind of cornering them to a decision. In this case, you can give them a good, a better, and a best option. And ideally, what you want to do here is your core services should be right in the middle, which is like, I'm going to take care of everything for you in this space. But if you feel like this is not within your budget, maybe we can start with something a little bit more of like the bare minimum. And so you want to typically have a entry-level option, which could be a diagnostic, or you're giving them sort of a sample of what it is to work with you. Then you want to give them a core solution, which is these are all the things that are going to take care of the minimum things you need so that you can achieve your goals. Then the third offer should be more of a all-you-can-eat buffet where it adds additional value, more proactive services, more strategic approach. So not only do you take care of their immediate needs, but you're also helping them work with you in looking at proactive ways they can make better financial decisions, better organize their finances, maybe even give them better business advice. And so by doing this with confidence, the client feels like they have options to choose, and you're giving them a higher level experience of working with you. And you're also helping them visualize that they have options. Now, if you want to learn more around how to price with confidence, I'm going to share in the description below some resources. And of course, if you want to work together with me on helping you transform your value pricing model, feel free to reach out and I'm happy to help.